Oh yeah, a little bit scary today. The scary theme. It's for to say, hey guys, it's Claus. You know what's scary? What's going to be scary about this game? Well, apart from this guy's name, which scares the hell out of me, I'm not even going to try and say it. We'll just call you Roz. He's playing the IS-3, and get ready for it. He's bottom tier in a tier 10 game. Yeah, and if that isn't cause enough to be... Like, how many of you roll out in your tier 8s and your bottom tier and you just say, oh, fuck. And you just give up because you're so scared. And that's why we had the scary intro. You see how my mind works, guys? I'm always trying to, you know, fit it in and interject and collude and cause the fabric to unify and bleed forth and associate itself so that it... the perambulations and discussions that follow are somehow related in any contorted way possible so that it all makes sense in the end, you know? And we're going to watch Roz here. And I got to tell you, he sent me this, and I thought, this is what I like to see. He's bottom tier in a tier 8, okay? And he doesn't give up. He doesn't hide at the back like a pussy. He plays the game as best he can versus tier 10s and 9s, and he plays aggressive, and yet you'll notice his layout there. He's got a lot of ammo of both kinds, and he just uses the regular kind. He does not press 2 the whole game. We're gonna watch this guy, and it's not, you know, if you looked at 500,000 games and you sorted them for damage or XP or whatever, it's not 10 kills. You know, it's not that one time when he's top tier and there's a platoon of Muppets on the enemy team that are AFK or whatever situation and wild, ridiculous circumstance which would lead him to get 14 kills and 11,000 damage and be featured elsewhere. This is a regular guy playing his regular tier 8 tank in a tier 10 game, trying his best. So let's watch him, and look where he's gone. He has moved right up into the face of the enemies. He's got tier 9s and 10s way at the back, camping. Well, they're not camping. Yeah, I shouldn't. Okay, so it's not about insulting everyone except Roz. They are providing support fire, and let's digress here for a minute. You see those guys back kind of near the spawn on the ridge lines. Now, if he moves up here where he is, and he does not have those guys behind him, he's quickly killed, right? So those guys behind him are providing support fire, but the important thing is, yes, they are providing support fire and they're helping him, but who gets most of the XP? He gets most of the XP because he gets XP for the damage that he does, and he's done some damage here. And he also, you see it flashing up on the screen there? He spots the enemies over here, lights them up, and his guys that you would refer to as, you know, we refer to them as campers, to, you know, oh, you're camper. Those guys behind them that are actually doing a good job, like the Tortoise and the Jagdpanzer and all those guys that are shooting, he gets XP for assistance damage, all the assistance damage that they do. So this guy, even though he's bottom tier, he's making the most of this game for himself. And it's kind of, you gotta think of it that way. Yeah, you're bottom tier, you're in a tier 10 game, you're in a tier 8 tank. Oh, I should hide at the back because I'm the weakest, I'm the smallest. If I move up, I could get hurt, right? No, if you want to have the big game, detection damage and spotting assistance damage, tracking people and spotting them is what racks it up, because you can poke up on a ridgeline like this and spot 6 enemies, and if you have 4 teammates that each take a shot and all 4 of them hit, you get assistance damage on 4 shots worth of damage. If you're one of the guys sitting at the back, you get XP on the 1 shot you took. Right? This guy gets XP on everybody's, all his teammates' shots that they're taking on these enemies. He is sharing in the XP, right? So moving up makes you have epic games. You may not rack up the damage yourself, but you will rack up the XP, win or lose, because you're getting all the assistance damage. Now, I'm guilty of this as well sometimes, of not doing this, but not, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You could die quickly, right? And number two is the worst thing that could happen is 5 of your teammates move up with you, so that instead of 1 guy spotting and 5 guys shooting, all 5 guys are spotting and nobody's shooting, right? That's bad. Sometimes the stars align and everything works. Like, he's moved up, he's lighting everyone, and he's got teammates that are shooting them. It's the perfect balance. Right? You need some people sitting out of detection range shooting. You need some people at mid-range absorbing shots and bouncing shots and taking shots. And you need a few, you need the least amount of people to move right up and spot everyone. And in this case, the IS-3, like who'd have thought, the heavy tank, the bottom tier heavy tank is the guy that's moved up aggressively to do all the spotting. Now look at this. He has moved up, and now the enemy's pushed this side. And this spot he's gone to, he's able to just flex, turn his direction so he's facing the other way. And now all of a sudden he's got shots on all these guys. First he spotted them all, and now he's shooting them all. And now the big guys are coming after him. And he's pinging help, SOS. And he will have help, because there's a tortoise and there's some guys back at his base. Watch, they're going to shoot these guys. He's just going to back up now. He's got them lit, and he's got backup. So I love to see this. Someone that's played aggressive and not just, complained and whinged and whined. Oh, the matchmaking sucks. I'm bottom tier again. Oh, I hate it. He said, I'm going to try my best. And he's trying his best, and it's this game anyway. Maybe he had 48 games in a row where it just fucking sucked. I don't know. That is a good point. Maybe he had 48 bad games, and he sent me this one. But hey, we're watching the good one. And hats off to you, Roz. Whatever the hell your name is. Like, you got 28 letters in your name. There's only 26 letters in the alphabet. You got 28 of them in your name. I don't get it, but let's watch this. And his team is winning. And how easy it is to win when all the enemies are lit. Like, isn't it a lot easier to win the game when your team knows where all the enemies are, and the enemies only know where the spotting tank is? For a large portion at the beginning of that game, and he just penned an E100. Did you see that? He's going to pen an E100 again. He's going to charge an E100. Holy shit, he's moving in on the E100. He can outmaneuver the turret of an E100. Get one more shot. Oh, he's saved. Way to go, buddy. You win the Klaus Kellerman You Have Balls medal. Because this was refreshing to watch. But what I was getting at the beginning of that game, let's just watch him. Oh, he bounced, but he rammed him! Kamikaze! Hoo-ha! That was a great finish to a great game victory. Let's look at the post-game stats. Look at this. High caliber, kamikaze, ace tanker. He's finished on top with over 4,000 damage. And how much spawning assist? Almost 3,000 damage due to players' assistance. Way to go, buddy. And my point was, at the beginning of that game, for the first 4 or 5 minutes, his team had all the enemies lit and they knew where all the enemies were. But the enemy team only had him lit. He was lighting the whole. If I showed you this game from their perspective, they would all be getting shot, and they would have no clue who was shooting them, because this guy moved up. He grew some balls, put his big boy pants on, and he moved up there and spotted them all, and that's why he had the epic game. Bottom tier. Way to go, buddy!